Straight ahead on CCX News, a controlled burn that damages nearby homes, how the city is responding. Plus, we'll see how Robbinsdale's Teacher of the Year got that title. But first, the NFL steps in to boost a recreation program that serves at-risk kids in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The Super Bowl is 8 months away, but the impact of the game is already being felt in the Twin Cities.
Today, the Brooklyn Bridge Alliance for Youth was the recipient of a Super Bowl host committee grant. We get more from Eric Nelson.
All right, Alex and Mike, long before a Super Bowl champion is crowned here in the Twin Cities, the NFL has kicked off a series of legacy grants, 52 in all, for various programs around the state. And the Brooklyn Bridge Alliance for Youth got a $90,000 check today. Nobody happier than Rebecca Gilgan from the Alliance. Congrats, that's a big chunk of change.
Thanks. It's a wonderful opportunity for our community to really accelerate young people's success. You know, the Alliance brings together our city partners, school partners, our young people, our school districts and our community colleges, really to find new ways of working together to solve problems. And what we understand from young people and some of the challenges that they were facing was that they couldn't access summer recreation programming because of transportation or cost. And what we really learned from youth this last year was that many of them had to take care of their younger brothers and siblings, and they couldn't get out of the house and get to the rec center. So our partners came up with this idea of, well, why don't we take the rec programming to them? And I'll tell you, this is one of the most impactful programs that I've ever been a part of. At the Alliance, we support our partners, the two cities of Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park, as they implement this. Really want to recognize their recreation departments and their city leadership for taking on these vehicles and making this happen. But one of the things we learned in that last summer was 65% of the kids that participated had never been in recreation programming before. This was a huge opportunity for them to gain access and for our cities to really reach out and serve all the residents in the city. So it's very exciting.
Yes, so to get another Rec on the Go van means huge. Some kids will have a chance to be involved in fitness-related activities, play games and sports, kids that maybe normally couldn't get to a gym.
Yeah, so this third vehicle was a perfect opportunity. One of the things we learned from last summer was, you know what, teenagers really didn't want to come out at the same time that the younger kids were coming out for the Rec on the Go. So this vehicle will be operating in the evenings and also in partnership with the kinds of things that teens like, and some college and career information also on those recreation vehicles. So it's a very exciting opportunity to really reach out to teens and connect them to opportunities this summer.
All right, thanks so much, Rebecca. Rebecca Gilgan from the Brooklyn Bridge Alliance, and it's a milestone day for the National Football League. They've now given out over $1 million in grants through these legacy programs, and they have 34 more stops to go on their Bold North tour across the state of Minnesota. Let's go back to Alex and Mike in the CCX Newsroom.
Eric Nelson reporting. Thanks a lot. In other news, a controlled burn over the weekend in Brooklyn Park got hotter than expected. These are photos showing melted siding on nearby homes. Firefighters had burned 2 homes for training purposes in an area where a new development will be built. But in a matter of seconds, a wind came up and the heat came too close to other homes across the street. Mayor Jeff Lundy says the city is apologizing and they're working to fix the damage.
A big gust of wind came, shot all that heat right across the street, even it wasn't even next door, I believe, and caused the damage. And so, you know, I think we're all looking at, wow, no one's ever seen this before, but still now is an opportunity for us to A, make it right with the homeowners, and B, take a look at how we do things.
Mayor Lundy says the ability to do live fire training is rare, but the city will look at how they do that in the future.
Hennepin County officials heard from residents today about a plan to increase the local sales tax to help pay for transportation and transit projects. The 1/2 cent proposed tax is an increase from 1/4% that was levied by several counties together. That deal is being dissolved, allowing Hennepin County to raise the tax. 1/2 cent would raise $125 million per year. And that would help fund the Bottineau Light Rail project here in the Northwest Metro, as well as the Southwest line. Officials believe the 1/2 cent tax would be enough to cover the projects and the county's share of operating costs through 2036. County officials will vote on the tax next week. Well, what does it take to be a really great teacher?
And Missy Davey can answer that question. She was recently named Teacher of the Year for Robbinsdale area schools.
Va chanter. 1, 2, 3. Joyeux anniversaire.
It's not unusual for song to break out in Madame Davies' French class. It's all part of the high-energy lesson for this Robbinsdale Middle School French teacher.
For me, being a great teacher means getting kids to do things that they never thought they could do before and have a blast while doing it.
Having fun with the students helps engage them in learning.
Moi? Oui. Eh bien, aujourd'hui, moi, ça va super bien, classe.
Missy Davy knows the energy she brings sets the tone. Her students notice the control she has getting through each lesson, yet she's still able to pay attention to different students' needs.
She's just really good at understanding how people need help and how to teach certain people, because not everyone is the same.
And if you don't get it, she'll try to help you, but it's not like she's going to tell you the direct answer, so you'll know how to figure it out.
Robbinsdale's Federation of Teachers recently named Missy Davy Teacher of the Year. It's an award Missy is having some fun with, because to her, being a teacher is really about showing students how to be themselves.
Working with students is really, I find that oftentimes they may not necessarily feel comfortable or believe in themselves. And so really showing them where they're having those moments of success to get them to engage in what's going on so that they can experience success is how I keep kids going in my classroom.
Missy Davy has been teaching since 2008. She has taught in the Robbinsdale School District for the last 7 years.
Well, still ahead on CCX News, what you should know about fruit juice in very young children. There's been a change in thinking.
Plus, the Maple Grove girls and boys teams advance in the lacrosse playoffs. We'll have the highlights.
But first, summer-like temperatures in the 80s and plenty of sun this week. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
Juice boxes are a quick and easy way to quench a child's thirst, and many kids love the way they taste.
But they're not the healthiest option for children. And in today's Health Check, Delane Cleveland tells us about new guidelines on juice intake and why parents should take note.
If human energy levels could be measured by a simple observation, then this kindergarten class in Plymouth would measure off the charts. Ask any of the staff members here, and they'll admit that teaching a hyper child has its challenges.
Difficult. It can be difficult.
But Chrissy Finko of Little Newtons in Plymouth says it would be even more difficult if the kids ingest too much sugar.
They have that shot of adrenaline and they get hyperactive. When dealing with that, it's really hard for them to sit down and focus on anything when it comes to education.
That's why one thing you won't find in these classrooms are juice boxes.
We serve milk and water. This does help cut down on the intake of sugar throughout the day.
Medical professionals hope others follow suit. In May, the American Academy of Pediatrics released new guidelines on juice consumption. They say that children should have no juice until the age of 1.
Previous recommendations, it was until the age of 6 months.
Meanwhile, toddlers should only have about 4 ounces of juice a day, and kids between the ages of 4 and 6 should only have about 4 to 6 ounces of juice.
These guidelines actually were changed because of the concerns for child obesity as well as cavities.
Many juice labels will draw attention to the vitamin content, but the amount of sugar they contain is essentially the same as a can of soda.
If we're filling the children up on juice, they're getting a bunch of empty calories and then they're not hungry for those healthy foods like fruits and vegetables and things like that we actually consider brain foods.
The hope is that by limiting juice and sugar intake now, that these kids will grow up to have healthy habits that will last a lifetime.
So the more nutrition they have, the more brain power they're going to have for their education in the future.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Cute kids, huh? And for a full look at the guidelines suggested by the American Academy of Pediatrics, you can check our website, that's ccxmedia.org. Well, coming up a little later, a little classical music on the plaza.
But first, the Wayzata Trojans open play at the State Boys Tennis Tournament. John Jacobson is in next with the highlights.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The State Boys Tennis Tournament is underway with team competition. The Wayzata Trojans open play with a quarterfinal round matchup against second-seeded Rochester Mayo. At first singles, it's Johnny Nudler of Wayzata in the near court against Mayo's Sebastian Weil. A good rally here before Vile gets a strong forehand stroke down the line for a point. He goes on to win the match 6-love, 6-2. Second singles, Wayzata's John Foley serving to Charlie Bankston. Foley follows his serve with a great backhand winner. He goes on to win his match 6-1, 6-love. On to doubles play. First doubles with Nick Getz serving. His partner Matt Hagan gets one return before Getz smashes a winner. However, Getz and Hagan lose their match in 3 sets. Second doubles, Michael Deal and Max Leal of Wayzata in the far court against Mayo's Nick Stan and Alex Lopez. Deal and Leal win this point and the match 6-2, 6-0. And Wayzata goes on to win this match over Mayo 4-3. Trojans will play in the tournament semifinals Wednesday morning at 10. Spots in the state lacrosse finals were on the line for several local teams in semifinal competition Monday evening. Maple Grove boys meeting Elk River Zimmerman in Section 8. Hunter House passes to Carter Lysing for the strong shot on goal as Maple Grove grabs a 2-0 lead. John Wells flips the pass to Matt Savanich. He hits the top corner to make it 3-0 Crimson. They dominate the first half. Carter Morissette finds House. He buries his second straight for a 5-0 lead after 1 quarter. Second quarter and the Crimson keep on pressuring. Tanner Skansen buries a long shot here for a 7-0 Maple Grove lead. Max Johnson gets a pick behind the net and then circles out front to score. Maple Grove leads 10-0 at halftime. They go on to win 15-7 to stay undefeated. The same teams meeting in the girls semifinals, tied at 2 early, and a quick counterattack for Maple Grove leads to a goal from Abby Bai. Edie Wheeler gets the assist, and it's 3-2. Their top scorer, Emily Herdeen, takes the pass from Chloe Corbin to score for a 4-2 Crimson advantage. Paige Casibo finds Herdeen, who scores 6 goals in the first half for the Crimson and 7 altogether in the game. Casibo gets 3 straight to make it 13-4 Crimson. They lead 15-4 after a very good first half. Second half, Elk River makes a comeback. Riley Springman scores. The Elks get 5 in a row at one point. But Maple Grove isn't seriously threatened on the way to a 19-13 to win, and they move into the Section 8 final. Also in girls lacrosse Monday, Osseo Park Center beat Buffalo 9-5 in the other semifinal in Section 8. So it's OPC against Maple Grove in a rematch of last year's final Wednesday at 5 o'clock at Osseo. Champlin Park knocked out second seed Centennial 13-3 in the Section 7 semis. The Rebels advance to the final to face top seed Blaine Wednesday at 7 o'clock at Osseo. In Section 5 girls lacrosse, Breck downs Armstrong 19-8 with top seed Blake beating Hopkins. Breck and Blake play for the title 5 o'clock Wednesday at Armstrong. In Section 8 boys, defending champion Wayzata eliminates second seed St. Michael Albertville. That sets up a good final. The Trojans will play top seed Maple Grove at Park Center at 7 p.m. Wednesday. And Armstrong's boys losing a heartbreaker in the Section 5 semis, falling 9-8 in 2 overtimes to Blake. Benilde crushed St. Louis Park in the other semifinal. Blake and Benilde play for the title at Armstrong at 7:30 Wednesday. One of Wayzata's boys lacrosse captains will aim for his 3rd state tournament appearance this school year on Wednesday night. On this week's Sports Jam show on CCX, Jay Wilcox profiles the Trojans' 3-sport athlete Colin Kubinski. Here's a clip from that story.
Not only is Kubinski a key contributor in all 3 sports, he's played in a state tournament in all of them. The Trojans won the Class AA title in hockey his junior season and made it back to state this school year as an underdog with a losing record. He backstopped the Trojans boys soccer team to a runner-up finish as a goalkeeper this past fall and helped the lacrosse team to state a year ago.
It's an experience like no other. Hockey is definitely a bigger deal here, but being able to play, help my team get to soccer and get to lacrosse is just an awesome experience, and hopefully we'll be able to do that again this year for lacrosse.
You can watch the rest of that story and plenty of playoff highlights on this week's Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday on CCX. That's it for Sports Today. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, a different sound of summertime.
A colorful piano and a cheerful sound outside when we come back. 88 keys and a whole lot of love. The Robbinsdale Main Street Plaza has a new addition that's bound to get people up and dancing.
Reporter Sonia Goins explains.
There's something magical happening in downtown Robbinsdale. The sun is shining and beautiful piano music fills the air.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Sophia Mottel, her sister Ava, and best friend Sophie couldn't wait to tickle the ivories.
Kind of like how the sun shines down on the key, so then it just kind of makes it like easier to see all of them and stuff. It's kind of like a nicer setting.
Really peaceful, I feel like. It's kind of calming too.
The colorful piano is part of the Pianos on Parade public art program.
I think it adds tons of peace because not many people like instruments, but everybody loves listening to them.
City leaders say it's a creative way to introduce art and culture.
It's really cool how they did this because I feel like when I see the piano, I really want to play.
The girls say it's a unique experience to play outdoors. The twins have been playing since they were 2. Their mom, Shannon, taught them. She also instructs Sophie. They say sharing their talents with people who happen to come by the plaza is a plus.
I think it's great. Hopefully people kind of come and hang out a little bit more, and we have such a cool downtown, and so hopefully it will just congregate more people.
The impromptu outdoor music concerts are uplifting spirits.
I think it's fantastic.
And putting smiles on the face of folks in Birdtown.
I think that's what the city of Robbinsdale really needs. It's a good gathering for people. Music makes people happy.
In Robbinsdale, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
And in case you're wondering, local merchants are tasked with keeping an eye on the piano. That includes covering it up when there's bad weather. Not today, though.
Did you notice the colors? I think that's Robbinsdale colors, right? Blue and yellow.
You're right. I didn't think about that, but you are right.
That's really cool, isn't it?
It is. That does it for us now.
And as we say goodbye, let's go back to Robbinsdale. We will end the show on a high note, and here's some more from the piano on the plaza.